respected viewers. Before you reach for that healthy snack sitting in your kitchen, I want you to pause, because what I'm about to tell you might shock you. The food that promises energy, heart health, and vitality may silently be doing the opposite. It may be raising your blood pressure, burdening your arteries, and quietly setting the stage for something much darker. And the most unsettling part is, you probably eat it every single day, believing it's good for you. Let's take a moment. You see, the human heart, it's not just an organ that pumps blood, it's the rhythm of your life. Every beat is a gift. Every pulse a quiet reminder that you are still here, still breathing, still given another chance to care for yourself. But when something interferes with that rhythm, even slightly, your entire being begins to change. And sometimes that disturbance doesn't come from cigarettes or alcohol or junk food. It comes from something that has been cleverly disguised as healthy. For decades, food companies have mastered the art of illusion. They've painted bright labels with words like natural, low-fat, energy-boosting, or heart-friendly. But behind those words hide ingredients that the human body was never meant to handle: processed salts, artificial sweeteners, refined oils, and hidden sugars that quietly elevate blood pressure and inflammation. It's not the big, obvious poisons that hurt us most. It's the quiet ones, the ones that pretend to care. Imagine this. You're sitting at your desk, maybe a little hungry between meals. You open a pack of roasted nuts, or grab a handful of baked chips, maybe a protein bar. The packaging tells you it's healthy, that it's good for your heart. But what it doesn't tell you is that it's loaded with sodium. Not the natural salt your body needs, but chemically treated sodium compounds that trap water in your blood vessels, forcing your heart to pump harder. Over time, this gentle pressure becomes a storm. And your heart, that faithful servant, begins to tire. The rise in blood pressure doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks in. It whispers. Maybe you start feeling a little more tired after meals. Maybe your head feels heavy, or your sleep becomes restless. You dismiss it. You think it's stress, or age, or lack of rest. But inside your body, tiny blood vessels are struggling. The walls of your arteries are slowly losing their flexibility. The system that once flowed like a calm river is now becoming turbulent, chaotic, and demanding. And that's where it all begins, with one small healthy habit that wasn't so healthy after all. You see, our trust in food labels has become blind. We've allowed marketing to become medicine, but the human body doesn't care about packaging. It listens only to what enters its bloodstream. Every chemical, every additive, every excess grain of salt sends a signal to your heart, your kidneys, your brain. It's not just about taste, it's about survival. When I speak to patients, I often tell them, your food is not just fuel, it's instruction. Every bite tells your body what to do, whether to heal or to harm. The tragedy is that we've traded wisdom for convenience. Our grandparents ate simply, fresh fruits, real grains, and clean water. But today, even the things that look pure are layered with deceit. There is one particular healthy snack that has gained massive popularity in recent years, found in gyms, office pantries, and even hospitals. It's considered a safe, protein-rich choice. But this very snack, when consumed regularly, silently raises your blood pressure and accelerates vascular damage. Most people never connect their symptoms to it. And that's what we'll uncover next. Not just what it is, but why it's hurting you, and how to break free from it before it's too late. Because understanding the truth about this snack could be the difference between a strong, steady heart and a silent, unseen danger waiting to strike. The snack I'm talking about is something many people eat with pride, believing it fuels the body, strengthens muscles, and keeps hunger away. It's the protein bar, yes, that neatly wrapped fitness companion that hides behind words like energy, natural, and wholesome. But beneath that glossy label lies a recipe that your heart quietly fears. Most protein bars are not what they seem. Their shiny appearance, their firm texture, that sweet but not too sweet taste, all of it is a calculated illusion. To make something shelf-stable, chewy, and tasty, manufacturers drown these bars in refined oils, artificial sweeteners, and sodium-rich preservatives. It's not the protein that's the problem, it's everything that comes with it. When you bite into one of these bars, your body doesn't recognize it as real food. It sees a mixture of synthetic compounds, maltitol, sorbitol, sucralose, sodium caseinate, all working together to keep the bar looking perfect. But inside your bloodstream, these chemicals trigger a different story. They confuse your natural insulin response, make your kidneys retain water, and raise sodium concentration. The result? A gradual, relentless rise in blood pressure. And here's where it becomes tragic. People who are trying to live healthier are the ones most at risk, the ones who say, "I've cut sugar. I've stopped fried foods. I only eat healthy snacks." They don't realize that their so-called healthy habit is quietly reversing their progress. That daily protein bar, that handful of flavored almonds, that cup of low-sodium soup, all crafted by industries that care more about preservation than protection. Let's look at what really happens inside your arteries. Imagine your blood vessels as smooth, flexible tubes. When you eat something natural, say a banana or oatmeal, your body knows how to digest and distribute it. But when artificial sodium and synthetic oils enter the bloodstream, they thicken the plasma, narrowing those vessels ever so slightly. The heart must push harder to move the same amount of blood. Day after day, this silent strain becomes routine, and what feels like a small sacrifice for taste or convenience becomes a dangerous pattern of damage. You might think, it's just one bar, just one snack. But high blood pressure doesn't come from one bad meal. It comes from accumulation, the small daily choices that quietly shift your body's chemistry. Every bite of that bar is a whisper your body must respond to. Every excess milligram of sodium is another ounce of pressure pressing on your vessel walls. The human body is miraculous. It forgives, it heals, it adapts, but only for so long. Once your blood pressure remains elevated, even slightly, your heart begins to reshape itself. The muscle thickens, the walls stiffen, the flow becomes heavier. And all this time, you still believe you're eating healthy. You're doing your best. You're trusting the labels, the advice, the marketing. That's why so many people never understand why their blood pressure stays high even after cutting junk food. Because what they're still eating, the granola bars, the baked crisps, the pre-seasoned nuts, all carry hidden loads of sodium and preservatives. These ingredients don't just affect your heart. They disturb your hormonal balance. They make you crave more salt, more sugar, more of the same things that are harming you. It's a loop, and most never escape it. But here's the truth. Escaping it doesn't mean giving up snacking. It means seeing through the illusion. It means taking back control of your health from corporations that profit from confusion. Once you understand what to look for, once you start reading labels like a doctor reads symptoms, you'll begin to see what's been hidden in plain sight all along. And that's what we'll talk about next. The subtle art of reading your food, the warning signs most people overlook, and the one change that can lower your blood pressure naturally without a single pill. Because once you learn that, your heart will finally begin to rest. When I tell patients to start reading their food labels, they often laugh softly and say, "Doctor, I already do." But I always ask them, "Do you really?" Because reading isn't the same as understanding. The truth is, the food industry doesn't want you to understand. It wants you to feel safe. It wants you to see the words, natural flavor, low sugar, zero fat, and believe that those things automatically mean good. But the heart doesn't care about good marketing. It only cares about balance, purity, and truth. When you turn over that healthy snack bar or pack of baked chips, you'll see an ingredient list. It looks harmless, but hidden inside are clues, quiet warnings your body can't ignore. Words like hydrolyzed, isolated, modified, stabilizer, or maltodextrin. These are not foods, they're signals of chemical interference. Each one affects your kidneys, your blood flow, your hormones in ways that build up over time. Sodium doesn't always come as salt. It hides under names like sodium phosphate, sodium benzoate, or disodium glutamate, silent saboteurs that stretch your arteries thin, day after day. And yet, we call these foods healthy. We pack them for work. We give them to our children. We eat them after workouts. We believe we are doing the right thing. But deep down, something feels off. You might feel bloated after eating, or notice your heartbeat flutter slightly when lying down. You may wake up feeling puffy, or your fingers may feel stiff in the morning. These are not coincidences. They're the whispers of your body. pleading for relief. You see, your heart has no voice. It cannot scream or complain. It speaks through rhythm, through pulse, through quiet discomfort. Every time you consume something overly processed, even something labeled healthy, your heart has to adapt. It has to push harder, pump faster, recover longer. And the irony is, we do it all in the name of fitness. I've met people who eat perfectly by modern standards. No fried foods, no sodas, no desserts. Yet their blood pressure remains stubbornly high. They don't understand why. But when we look closer, the culprit is always the same. The snacks that live in the health aisle. The ones coated with olive oil but loaded with salt. The ones that say no sugar but hide artificial sweeteners that trigger insulin spikes and hormonal confusion. The ones that claim heart-friendly while quietly overworking that very heart. It's not your fault. You were taught to trust the packaging, the influencers, the doctors on TV who hold up shiny bars and say, "This is good for you." But wisdom doesn't come from marketing. It comes from listening to your own body. When something makes you feel heavy, restless, or drained, your body is telling you a truth no label can. If you truly want to lower your blood pressure, you don't need a miracle diet. You need awareness. Start replacing those packaged snacks with real, living foods. A handful of raw, unsalted nuts, a slice of fruit, a boiled egg, a small bowl of lentils. These foods don't just feed your body, they heal it. They don't force your heart to work harder, they allow it to breathe. When you eat something natural, your body recognizes it instantly. There's no confusion, no stress response, no chemical war inside your bloodstream. Your heart rate stabilizes, your arteries soften, your body remembers what peace feels like. And here's something most people forget. Healing doesn't come from what you add to your diet. It begins with what you remove. The less confusion you create for your body, the more it finds its own rhythm again. High blood pressure isn't just about salt. It's about the slow erosion of balance, the loss of simplicity. But there's still hope, because the body never stops trying to heal. Even if you've eaten wrong for years, even if your blood pressure has been rising quietly, your body is waiting for you to change direction. The moment you stop feeding it the illusion of health and start feeding it truth, it begins to recover. And in the next part, I'll share something even more powerful. How your emotions, your habits, and your mindset affect your blood pressure just as much as your food. Because healing isn't only about what you eat. It's about how you live. You can eat the cleanest diet in the world, but if your life is filled with quiet stress, hidden anger, or loneliness, your blood pressure will still rise. The heart doesn't only respond to food, it responds to feelings. Every emotion you hold in your chest, every worry you don't release, every silent burden you carry changes the way your blood moves. It's all connected. When I meet people with long-term hypertension, I see the same pattern. They're careful eaters. They know what's good and what's bad. But inside, they live in tension. Their minds are never still. Their hearts never get to rest. They wake up with responsibility and go to bed with worry. Even when their bodies are quiet, their thoughts are loud. And that silent storm keeps their pressure high, even if their diet is perfect. Your body is not just a machine, it's a mirror of your inner world. If you feed it fear, it tenses. If you feed it peace, it relaxes. When you sit down to eat, even a simple meal, the energy you bring to that table becomes part of your nourishment. Eating in a rush, eating with guilt, eating while scrolling through screens, these habits confuse your nervous system. They keep you in fight or flight, raising cortisol, tightening blood vessels, pushing your pressure higher. But when you slow down, when you breathe before you eat, when you truly taste your food, your body shifts. It moves from survival to restoration. Your heartbeat steadies, your digestive system opens up, and your blood pressure naturally begins to fall without any medicine, without any miracle, just through the act of peace. That's the forgotten medicine of modern life, peace. We've replaced stillness with stimulation. We wake up to alarms, we eat in haste, we live surrounded by noise. The same food that could have healed us now hurts us because we've lost the rhythm of calm that allows the body to process it with grace. So if you want to protect your heart, start with awareness, but end with gentleness. When you look at your plate, ask yourself, does this food bring me peace? Is it real or just packaged comfort? Does it nourish or does it numb? These small questions carry more healing power than any prescription. Your blood pressure is not your enemy, it's a message. It's your body's way of whispering, something needs to change. And when you finally listen, when you stop reaching for that healthy snack that never truly made you feel alive, when you let go of the habit that numbs instead of nourishes, something inside you begins to awaken. Your pulse slows down, your body softens, and your heart, once burdened by confusion and chemicals, finally begins to rest again. The truth is, you were never meant to live in constant pressure, not in your blood, not in your mind, not in your soul. And when you begin to live gently, to eat honestly, to breathe fully, everything inside you begins to align again. Because health isn't about perfection, it's about honesty. It's about returning to what's real, in your food, in your feelings, in your faith. My dear friends, your heart has been beating faithfully since the very first moment of your life, long before you spoke a word, long before you ever knew what pain or pressure meant. It never asked for anything grand in return. It only asked for care, for truth, for gentleness. And yet, over time, life taught us to forget. We rushed. We trusted what sparkled. We believed that if it looked healthy, it must be healthy. But the heart sees what the eyes cannot. It feels the truth we ignore. Maybe you've spent years eating right, exercising, doing everything by the book, and still, something feels off. Maybe your blood pressure won't settle, your energy feels low, or your body just doesn't feel at peace. I want you to know this, it's not too late. The damage isn't final. The body has a language of forgiveness written into every cell. All it asks is that you stop feeding it confusion and start feeding it life. You don't need to fear your food, you need to understand it. You don't need to chase the next miracle diet. You need to return to simplicity, to real, living nourishment that grows from the earth, not from factories, because every time you eat something pure, your body recognizes it like an old friend returning home. Every bite of truth repairs what lies cannot. And while you care for your body, don't forget your mind. Let go of the noise, the rush, the endless comparison. Sit still for a moment each day and listen to the rhythm inside your chest, the soft, steady beat that's carried you through joy and pain alike. That sound is the song of life itself. Protect it. Honor it. Your healing doesn't begin in a hospital or a pharmacy. It begins here, with awareness, with intention, with a quiet promise to treat your body as something sacred. Every time you choose real food over fake comfort, every time you breathe before reacting, every time you choose peace over pressure, your heart thanks you. So the next time you reach for that shiny, healthy snack, pause. Ask yourself if it truly serves you, or if it's just another mask in disguise. And then choose differently. Choose truth. Choose calm. Choose life. Because one day, years from now, when your heart still beats strong and steady, you'll know that the small choices you made, the honest ones, were what kept you alive, not just in body, but in spirit. And that, my friends, is the quiet miracle your heart has been waiting for all along.